Well, good afternoon. It's not the prettiest loaf I've ever made. In fact, it looks sort of sad, but that wasn't the purpose of the test. I know that this particular recipe makes some very good bread when you use all-purpose flour. However, for this test, I added 1/3 of freshly milled hard white wheat, and I want to see how that comes out tasting. There were a few problems with temperature control, so that explains some of this, and I'll talk about it more later in the rest of the video. Let me add a couple of thoughts to my rather informal introduction. First of all, welcome to the soon-to-be world-famous Serendipity Farmhouse Test Kitchen. We're glad you came to join us. Today, I intend to analyze a sourdough sandwich bread recipe that I first saw on the Rose Homestead. Was presented by Mary Rose. Our goal is to highlight what makes this recipe reliable, easy, and worthwhile. Why would you want to spend your time making this one rather than some others? You're going to find out in this video. Okay, let's take a quick look at the ingredients in this recipe. I've listed both the traditional and the metric measures. First, we have 1 cup of filtered water, 1/2 cup of sourdough starter, 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 3 to 3½ cups of flour. For the measures here, I'm using 3¼ cups as the average. We here at the soon-to-be world-famous Serendipity Farmhouse Test Kitchen always try to go one step further. Once we learn how to do a basic recipe, then we see what we can do to enhance that recipe. So in this case, instead of using 3 cups of all-purpose flour, we decided to do what Mary does, and she adds in 1 cup of freshly milled hard white wheat, and then adds 2 cups of all-purpose flour. In this case, we've done what Mary does, and it's time to start putting our loaf of bread together. First step is mixing the dough. For us, that started the night before, where we mixed the water and the starter. After that, we added in the olive oil and the honey and mixed it until that was all incorporated. Mary Rose recommends that you add 1 cup of flour at a time. This we did. The first cup of flour was the freshly milled hard white wheat. Right after we added the first cup, we then added the salt. Then we continued adding flour until we got a shaggy dough. And that put us at about 3 cups to 3¼ cups of flour total in mixing this dough. At this point, it's time to bring the dough fully together and to make sure that all the dry flour is taken off the bottom of the bowl. You can do this by using your hands and mixing it all together, or I prefer to use a dough scraper or a bench scraper. It accomplishes the same thing. Note that at this point the dough should be soft, easy to work with, and shouldn't be too sticky or too dry. The next thing you do is, in this case I use a oil mister, and grease the bowl on the sides and then put the dough back into it. That way it will not stick to the bowl as it's going through its bulk fermentation. Oh boy, did I just mention bulk fermentation? That's where yours truly ran into a big problem one night when he went to make this bread. But let's talk first about the way it's supposed to go. First of all, cover and ferment overnight on the counter for about 8 to 12 hours. In the morning, you can punch down the dough or pat it down and on a lightly floured surface. You pat it out into a rectangular shape so that it and start rolling it tightly while tucking the ends to make a loaf shape. So in other words, you want to make it look like a loaf of bread. Get a greased loaf pan and then place your loaf into the loaf pan and cover it. You can allow it to rise again for 2 to 3 hours or until it tops over the pan. That's the way it's supposed to go. Well, folks, it didn't go quite the way it was planned. First time I attempted to make this type of loaf or using this recipe, We were in the midst of the coldest week of January, and this little old farmhouse, it's almost 100 years old, has no insulation, so it gets really cold in the house at night. So I decided to put it into the oven, and in something I had never done before was leave the oven light on. I didn't think that that oven light would get all that warm, but it did. And when I woke up the next morning at 4 a.m. and came out here to look at my beautiful dough, it was not so beautiful. It was an overproofed mess. I decided to go ahead and make a loaf of bread using that. Now, one of the things that you learn very rapidly or very quickly in a situation like this is when you overproof, it tends to make too much lactic acid, makes a very sour and bitter loaf. When my executive chef, Miss Blondie, tasted that bread, she said it was too sour and too bitter, and that was a loaf of bread that got thrown into the garbage. So this is my winter weather warning. You have to compensate and adjust for the temperature, but don't overcompensate. Providing everything went well with your bulk fermentation and your proofing, baking the bread is relatively simple and straightforward. Make sure you have your oven preheated to 375 degrees. If you want, you can brush the loaf with an egg wash. And even better, you can sprinkle some everything bagel seasoning on it to add extra flavor to your loaf. You put it in the oven and you bake it for about 40 to 45 minutes. You check on it, of course, because you may want to pull it out a little bit early. The internal temperature should be somewhere around 195 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Take it out of the oven, allow to cool on a cooling rack completely before slicing. And we have our dear friend, Miss Nancy. Hi, Miss Nancy.
Hello, Mr. Pete. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Sous Chef.
Sous Chef. You can call me Fuzzy.
Okay, Fuzzy. All right.
Okay. Either
Fuzzy.
Because of this or.
Oh, okay. All right,
All
Fuzzy.
right.
You don't have your official Fuzzy.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to cut off one slice.
All right.
And I'm going to divide it into 3 pieces so that I can taste a piece, you can taste a piece, and then later on, Executive Chef Blondie can taste it, and she'll probably be the most critical.
All right.
Okay,
Well, I'm anxious to taste it.
Okay, so
let's get going here.
now if we come on over, I'm going to put this into our handy bread slicer and cut off a heel, which will of course be the crustiest. Cuts nice and easily, no problem at all.
Beautiful.
This is the crumb.
Very nice. Very nice.
And now if you want to come and
Mm-hmm.
see how it smells.
Oh, it smells good. Smells
Okay.
good.
So let's cut it up. And this is for you.
Thank you.
And this is for me.
Oh, it's soft. Very, feels
And
already spilling. All right.
Good?
I like the texture.
Okay.
would you make sandwiches with this?
Toast.
I would make sandwiches with it, but I think I would particularly like it with butter.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm.
we're going to try that out, but not right now.
Mm.
So you think it's good?
I do think it's
Try
good.
to make some more? Would you like to try to make it?
I would.
It's as easy as it's a no-knead
Mm-hmm.
sourdough bread. You have some starter, I know you do. And
Daisy.
Daisy,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
This is Pat Moore's daughter.
Right.
And so
Oh, it's good.
I'll give you the recipe. And I've got it in both traditional measure and in grams.
All right, but you said you made it with hard white wheat.
With 1/3 hard white wheat.
Where do I get that?
Well, you'd have to mill it, and you don't have a grain mill.
I don't. You'd have to give me some.
I'd have to give you some.
Okay, yes, I definitely would try this. It's very, very tender, very moist, a nice crust, very crispy crust. I like that part of it. And I do think it would be good toasted with butter.
Okay.
Making my mouth water right now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
And thank you, Executive Chef Blondie.
Happy cooking.
Happy cooking.
Happy cooking.
And there you have it, friends. Delicious and reliable sourdough sandwich bread. My loaf didn't look very pretty, so I will continue to work on that and make it better and better. The freshly milled hard white wheat added a unique flavor and texture, something that Miss Nancy really liked, and it also makes this recipe worthwhile. In fact, Miss Nancy took the recipe, went home and baked a loaf for herself, and pictures and everything else show it really looked good. So give this a try and share your results with us. Until then, always remember, happy cooking.